Alrighty, we're here with my baby, the Versus 650, and we got a new thing to work on today. It's getting to be that time. It's early November, and it's starting to get a little bit chilly in North Carolina. And one thing that you need, if you're gonna keep riding to work and keep riding on the weekends, heated hand grips on the bike. I do not have, the factory installed grip heaters. I last year ran a set of Bike Master heated grips that you just attach. You kind of lace them on there. I did a whole video on them. You just wrap them around the grip and plug them in and wire them to the battery essentially, and there's a switch, which I didn't really care for the wiring on that. It just seemed odd. I don't know, I thought it could have been done better. And then the whole way that they attached onto the grips with, it's like a shoelace, honestly. You just lace it up on there and it was kind of sliding around. They worked, but I wanted to try something new. So I bought a cheap pair on Amazon. I don't remember what they were called. I'll throw the picture up on the screen. But they didn't work at all. I opened them up, plugged them in, and they did not even heat. So just junk. I don't know. Well, I guess I got a defective one. Whatever. I just shipped them back, got my money back, because I think they were like $16. So I wasn't expecting much, but I at least expected them to turn on and to work, but they didn't at all. So I spent a little bit more money on Revzilla and got a new pair to try this year, and they're right over here. So this is what I used last year, Bike Master. You can see how they kind of lace up on there. But check my video out on that if you want to know more about those. These worked. They weren't fantastic. They weren't bad. They got warm. They didn't get really hot. At no point where I was like, man, I got to turn these off because they're so hot. They had enough power to take the edge off. So, but at the same time, I didn't really want to put them back on the bike because the wiring there's just freaking wires everywhere. And they weren't fantastic. I don't know, I want to try something new. So, boom, hot hands. We're going with these ones this year to try them out. From what I've read online, they get super freaking hot. That was all the comments on these is, man, they get so hot I had to turn them off periodically. And it even has a warning on the box. Remember, Oxford hot hands will get hot. Avoid contact with bare skin. So I'm guessing these suckers really heat up. So we're going to find out. This one does not have any heat warnings on it at all. So, but I have opened them both up. So let me give you a comparison here, actually, because I found this to be interesting. All right, so these suckers they just Velcro on out of there. So there's no lacing them up, tying them on there. You just wrap it around the handlebar and then Velcro it. So I thought this would be way simpler to take off and on, which I was happy about, but they are thick. I don't know, can you guys see on the camera how thick that is? It's going to make your grips really freaking thick. I mean, just as a comparison, I'll pull one of these out of here. Because these were like freaking paper thin. Look at these. This is like literally a piece of thin leather. Compared to this thing. See them side by side. It's hard to get it. But yeah, essentially this is one thin strip of leather. And this is multiple layers of, this is really sticky stuff. Not sticky, but it's like foam, so it won't slide anywhere. And then there's another layer of fabric and then another layer. So this thing's really freaking thick. So if you don't like having a thick hand grip, you're probably not going to like these. I'm a little bit surprised at how thick it is. So note that. As far as wiring, I mean, this one seems way simpler than the Oxford. I mean, you got your switch right here, toggle switch, and thing to the battery. That's it. Look at this mess. This was a mess of, I had to connect all kinds of crap. Yeah. So I'm going to pop these babies on there and see what happens. I'm a little confused with the switch, just looking at it. There's no way you can probably see that on camera, but it says high, off, and low, but there's only 2 positions to the switch. So I don't get that. How you have 3 settings listed, but only 2 positions on the switch. So I guess we'll find out if there is a way to turn it off. I don't know. Okay, update. We are, they're installed and wired. I got them on here. They make the grip significantly bigger. It doesn't really seem to bother me right now. I don't think I'm going to have an issue with it. Just something to note. It is way thicker of a grip. I've got it wired to the battery direct. There's no, wiring it into the bike anywhere. So you flip the switch, whether the bike is on, they're coming on. So can't leave them on, you'll drain your battery. But yeah, I mean, you just under the negative, under the positive, boom, it's got power. I just wanted to test it before I locked everything down. I mounted my switch right here. And then you've got, so all I've left to do is just, get these wires zip tied back. As far as wiring goes, this thing was 100 times easier than the Bike Master one. So I had to plug everything in on this, and I don't know, it was just a mess. These literally, you plug them in right here. And you plug each hand grip in and plug it to the battery, and you're done. So any bozo can wire this thing. Now you just got to make it look pretty. And the thing about the switch, so even though scribed on there it says high, off, low, that's not the case. It's on and off. It's on, green light, off. There's only 2 positions, so I guess they just repurposed some other switch where there has a 3 position, but this is just on and off. But we'll get it all nice and prettied up, and I'll report back after I try them a few times and see how they work. Okay, we're back with the Oxford heated hand grips after 3 days of riding and testing them out. It's been cooler here, down into the 40-degree mark. So I've been trying them out, see how they work. Pretty darn good. Pleasantly surprised. They get very warm. I rode to work this morning as an example. It was about 42 degrees. And I rode to work for, 15-20 minutes in the morning traffic. They heated up nice. My hands were not really cold at all. Compared to the other ones I had last year, these heat up a lot more evenly, for sure. You get heat across all of your fingers and the palm of your hand really good. The only thing that really gets cold at all is going to be like your top of your thumb, because that's not really on getting heat from anything. That's about it. And when I'm at a stoplight, I just kind of smash my thumb on it, get some heat. But they're really pretty good. The only complaint I have is just the thickness of these things. It was a struggle to get used to the first day. They're substantially thicker, which is weird. You feel like you can't really get a good grip on the bar. So that's after 3 days of riding with it, though. I'm kind of used to it. It still feels a little awkward, but much better than day 1. That's for sure. These, gosh, I don't know if do you want to get these or not. Well, if you don't mind the grip being super thick, then yeah, they work great. The wiring's super easy. They get nice and toasty hot. I have this sneaking suspicion that I will eventually take these off and just get actual heated grips installed. I don't really want to do it myself. I'll probably just take it to the Kawasaki dealership and have them do it. I think they're made by Oxford anyway, so probably similar product, but I think that's probably the route I'll end up going eventually. We'll see. But for now, these work pretty good. Pleased with how warm they get, just not the thickness. And just to give you an idea, I brought this so you can see exactly the difference. So the circumference of this now, I mean, there you go, 6 inches around. So do the math to get the new diameter. I'll throw it up on the screen. I'm not doing it in my head. Yeah, it's pretty substantial for sure. Very large in the diameter. But for the price here, they're pretty good, I guess. I'll throw that up on the screen. I can't remember what they were, like 50 bucks, 60 bucks, something like that. But yeah, so they work and they get nice and warm. As long as you don't mind it being super bulky, then yeah, go ahead and get them. I would say compared to the other ones, what I have, Bike Master, these get hotter for sure, noticeably hotter. At no point was I like, oh my god, these are so hot I have to turn them off. But they got significantly hotter than the Bike Master ones for sure, and they gave a more even heat, and they don't really tend to slide around as much. Maybe they'll loosen up the more I use them, but for now they're pretty tight on there. But yeah, so hopefully you found this helpful if you were thinking about getting these. And I do have one more item I got in the mail today I'm going to be installing on this baby. Another comfort item, so I'll be dropping that video here probably within the next week or so. I'm having trouble with my computer. I don't have enough storage space after all these videos, so that's why they've been less frequent, trying to find room to store all this stuff. So but anyway, let me know if you have any questions on these. I'll try to put the prices and links and everything in the description so you got them